I'm Bulgarian!
Bulgaria ended the First Weltkrieg in a god-tier position. We backed the right side, watched our neighbors crumble, and walked away with land, power, and pride. Macedonia, ours. Southern Dobruja, ours. Thessaloniki? Well, you better know that's also ours. We should be balling in this situation. I mean, we were the winners. We should have it like amazing. But for some reason, well, our economy is completely stagnant. Our politics are, well, broken because we need critical reform. Our people are arguing over whether we should even have a king. The farmers should be in control, or maybe just send in the army and have them run the country. And you know what? That doesn't sound half bad. And meanwhile, these internal arguments and discussions are being had, our neighbors are creating a Belgrade Pact. Basically just a name for a bunch of losers who all want their stuff back. And I mean, is that really my fault that, well, I won over them and they lost? I don't think that's fair. Fuck them.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
Because at the end of the day, is it really my fault that they backed the wrong side and I won the First World War? I mean, come on. A Bulgaria with these critical problems at its heart, our army is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's vastly extended because we need to have it that extended because apparently we are killing the Serbs. One of the major issues of the Bulgarian Empire is the long-standing problem of the non-Bulgarians. Disgusting. Rapide.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
Which has led to major problems in the conquered lands, especially with the Serbs, as the only option the Empire could ever think of was just to exterminate them. Operation Nisheva was launched, targeting the intellectuals and removing the last couple intelligible Serbs. People abroad didn't think it was very cool of me to just like get rid of the Serbs, but they suck. With all the politicking taking place, a man was moving in the shadows. Kimon Georgiev, a man who understood that Bulgaria needs a new future, a pan-Slavic future. And the perfect time to strike and make his move was fucking Black Monday. This fucking thing is goddamn eternal, man. I fucking hate it. With the banks failing, Georgia and his center party slowly gaining influence because, well, everything was shit. And him using fear tactics towards people who were already struggling, well, they kinda had to support him. He staged a coup and overtook the government. And with Genov and his center party now firmly in control, we made a deal with the Ottomans to not attack me, and I will definitely refrain from not attacking them in the future. As the complete dumpster fire Genov had taken over was finally settling down, the Belgrade Pact formed. Setting up a cohesive line on defendable territory was the only option that we had, as we now face the cringe baby gang alliance versus the only Balkan superpower. Bulgarians rise up.
You're in Bulgaria.
The Belgrade Pact was strong, but their weakest link was of course Greece, as most of their army was, well, encircled, destroyed, and they got so dumbfounded that they lost so many men that they just decided to just let me in. I guess it's not just the Greek economy that doesn't work, it's also their brains. With Greece down, Romania then became the main target, as they were, well, they were pretty shit. And that's because I implemented a new law in the Balkans that it was, well, illegal to steal. And the emotional distress from this new event happening in the Balkans completely and utterly dumbfounded all the Romanians that now it wasn't just illegal to steal, that they just broke apart. Now, with the Serbs being basically the bane of my existence throughout this entire game, they fired a peace deal towards Georgiev. They thought that we could put our differences aside, they would give up some territory, and we would all just be friends. No.
Give them nothing, but take from them everything!
As Georgiev was a pan-Slavic state enjoyer, he decided that, no, I will not take that deal. The Serbs then fell, and undisputed Bulgarian supremacy returned to the Balkans, as it should be, and as it has been through thousands of years. All my Sigma Bulgarians rise up. Puppet states were set up, and Serbian lands were integrated into the coming pan-Slavic state. Debuffs were removed, and normal life was returning. An era of peace would dawn upon Bulgaria for Serbian rebellion.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
This started the Serbian rebellion decisions. A bunch of pissed off Serbs hauled their ass up into the mountains and refused to come down. A thing of note about this event, I have no clue what I was supposed to do. Whatever province they're in, I need more troops than they have in that province, and I definitely did do that. Whenever I had that and the timer ticks down, they lose strength. It went great the first time, it did not go great all the other times. And this was my reaction doing this like live. And in counterplay, if the state has more divisions than technical strength they have beaten back, they have 8. I have 24. The fuck are you on about? Let's just say I was not happy when the rebellion popped, and the Serbs again rose up, and I had to kill Serbs again. But to be fair, it was pretty easy with Mountaineers. Georgiev then had a bit of a Jimmy Neutron moment, and remember that there are Balkan Slavs outside of Bulgaria, which meant preparations for war had to be made immediately against the Austrians. We would have to make more factories, produce more guns, and steal factories from our puppets. Wait, stealing from others? I thought we were playing Bulgaria, not Romania. With preparations for the Austrians almost complete, it was pretty funny how the Austrians then sent me an alliance offer, almost like they knew I was planning something against them. But I of course declined it and threw it right back in their face. A thing I did know was that I probably had to start the war soon, because if I waited too long, the Austrians would then join the Austrians joined the Reichspakt. With the knowledge that this wouldn't be a fair fight anymore, I used one of the forbidden hidden knowledges that only higher tier level Hoi4 players uses, and that is not calling in your puppets into a war. However, Keiserreich is a bit different. In Keiserreich, whenever you have a puppet, the AI will declare on it, but it will declare on it after a couple months or to about half a year, which means you have about that amount of time to, well, get the war done before your puppets get called in. Which means I had to be very fast now. I popped the decision to declare war on the Austrians and I pushed. Now the pushes did go very well as I encircled multiple divisions that the Illyrians had. However, a couple things that I didn't get was I didn't really get any Austrian divisions, which means I wouldn't really be hurting the Austrian Empire and I'd only be hurting puppets that I really didn't care about. Especially when I then ended up being bogged down in Illyria after they capped and had to basically just stand there and wait until I could finally get green air again. Because pushing on the red air is absolutely horrendous. And with the Austrians then finding out that, wait, why don't we open the front up more? The Austrians then declared war on Romania, which was kind of the worst thing that could happen at this point.
Hey, knock it off! There's a kid back there!
I'm in danger!
Another secret technique, which was using all your puppets' armies as meat shields, which held them back for a little bit, and that's only because in Keiserreich the AI actually makes like alt-right divisions, not good divisions, but alt-right divisions in comparison to base game, which meant that they were actually able to hold on the mountains and on rivers.
What is my purpose?
You are a meat shield.
Oh my god.
Wait a minute, the AI makes good decisions? Wait, that can't be real. My divisions then finally reached the Austrians as my Mountaineers smashed into the Austrian lines and finally took Trieste, which was the first proper Austrian city I'd taken this entire game. That also meant that because how AI works in, well, Hoi4, every single Austrian division then came crashing into me. But with at least a shred of green air and yellow air, I was actually able to hold the pushes they did against me and push against them whenever they finally ran out of steam. I did, however, lose a ton of manpower, a ton of equipment on the most of the pushes, but with green air it didn't really matter much if I was even like fully equipped with all my divisions, as I could still push somewhat because the cast damage was so great. The Austrians being really incompetent at war and the AI being what the AI is, they ended up losing Vienna and slowly losing their major city, fucking.
Welcome to fucking. The villagers I've spoken to all share the same love for fucking. We have the fucking school, where the fucking children learn everything there is to know about fucking. I must say, I more and more enjoy fucking children.
Them capitulating meant, wait a minute, is that a core German territory? Listen guys, I don't know about you, right? But Austria kinda sucks. Nobody likes Austria anywhere. But German territory, eh?
Why are you gay?
As I then absolutely decided that, well, I shouldn't go after any of the puppets anymore. I'll do some couple pushes, doesn't really matter, but I'll go completely and utterly into Germany to make sure the Reichspakt falls as fast as possible. Because why go for the small dog when you can go for the big dog, am I right? This, however, was the last straw for the German Empire, as they, well, they kinda fell apart. As they couldn't handle a full-on complete another war on every single front, as I was gobbling up territory in the south, and the Russians were gobbling up territory in the east. Germans not really feeling very good now. With Germany losing Berlin, it was the end of the Reichspakt, which means that the entire faction crumbles. And that means we're gonna feast. The Illyrian territory was taken to again fuel my pan-Slavic ambitions later. The Austrian territories were yoinked for a combined Austrian and German puppet later. And Denmark I took because I don't really know why I took Denmark, but I have Denmark and now it's mine. Hungarians were, well, they were just, you know, a bit of a feast. I mean, I could feed them all the old territory and make them pretty strong, so I just did that. And the only people in the Reichspakt that was left now was, well, the Poles and the Czechs, which I, for some reason, wasn't at war with. I don't know why, but I just wasn't. So they just got to be killed on their own, and I could just like not have my people die, I guess. Bulgaria at this point was absolutely massive, and the only person you could thank for this was Kimon Georgiev, the uniter of the Balkan Slavs, as the Yugoslavian state was finally formed. thunderstorm. The paradise Georgiev had dreamed about for all of his life had come true. With Yugoslavia even joining the Russian faction, the state was finally guaranteed for all time. Prince Ferdinand, by the way, I haven't talked about Prince Ferdinand a single time because he's absolutely irrelevant in this like path I'm taking, was kicked out of the nation, stripped of all his wealth, and well, he could just go on being like his normal self, I guess. But the new king in town was Kimon Georgiev, who took the presidency and set up a new Yugoslav republic, and finally democracy was back in Bulgaria. I mean, Yugoslavia. The Ottomans, being great friends of us since 1937, had become a bit frisky, and by that I mean they had gotten involved in a war with the Russians. And to save the Ottomans, again we were great friends, I decided to declare war on Russia and leave their faction. I of course didn't do that, as I also invaded the Ottomans and took them as a puppet, because if I couldn't have them, nobody could. And we were great friends. I mean, we even had like that one time we had a treaty. I mean, it was great. And now I have them as a puppet. It's even greater. While others were happy, a new threat had emerged on the world stage. The evil of all good states. The communists. This communist threat could not stand, as the Russians then declared war on the syndicalists without my knowledge and without me knowing, so I guess I'm just dragged into another war.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
With armies rushing forth to assist the front lines, my mountaineers did what they do best, as they always do: kick fucking ass. And by that, we cut off the Germans and made sure that now there were two front lines, one in the middle of our territory and one in France. And by that, I meant we crushed the Czechs, destroyed all their people, and made sure that they would be later puppeted into my great empire. It's just that easy, boys. Yugoslavians stay winning. The second encirclement of the war was, well, when the syndicalist German state had, how do I say this, been too frisky, as they were then cut off and all their armies were destroyed, killed, and let's just say that they probably won't be speaking German much longer, as they will probably speak either Serbian, Bulgarian, Czech, something along those lines, something about Slavs. The Dutch, of course not understanding what forceful change is, were forced to give up their entire nation as my freshly minted tank divisions barreled right into Amsterdam and they capitulated. The syndicalists, now only consisting of 3 nations, was the Spanish, the French, and the English. However, I wanted to cut that down to 0, as I decided to lorb a little bit by making a Calais pocket in the northern France, and then taking most of their ports to, well, make sure that no English support reached them. The French really didn't have much left, as most of the divisions were basically destroyed in most of the encirclements I made, and the Spanish doing what the Spanish do best, and that's doing absolutely fuck all, as they didn't even really walk into France to help them. So as the French nation fell, I decided to punish the Spanish for being such absolute cowards, barreling into them with more mountaineers and completely and utterly capitulating them and bringing back Portuguese territory. Now, with the Spanish out of the war, there was only the English, and the English had one of the most insane air forces that I'd ever seen, as they were completely and utterly destroying me in the air. I had to think of something different, something that I haven't thought about before, and that was, of course, researching naval invasions, because for some reason I still don't have naval invasions researched. Why we still need to research that? I don't fucking get it, man. Well, I guess the game is made by Swedes, so that's probably why. But after researching naval invasions, I decided to use a secret little thing that I haven't shown you guys yet, and that is the entire German navy. My navy was, well, pretty freaking big. And by that I meant I got instant green navy in the English channel, which I could then use to naval invade the English. Why the English AI, even in vanilla, doesn't defend England at all, I still don't understand. But it was piss easy as I barreled through. It was only later even some divisions came to help them, and I took all of England and they capitulated. Kind of anticlimactic, as that they didn't really fight back that much, but at the end of the day, it's against my insane mountaineers, so, well, it is what it is. Now, the world looked a bit different. France was Yugoslavian, Spain was Yugoslavian, places in Africa was Yugoslavian, England was Yugoslavian, there was even like Ireland. I don't know why I couldn't take Ireland, but some of that was Yugoslavian probably. Essentially, the whole world was always Yugoslavian. Wait, it's always been Yugoslavian? Always has been.
Driving in my car.